Oh gosh. Oh, it's organized this morning. It's so bad. Well, good afternoon and good morning wherever you are. So in Kenya and in Ghana, I hope you're having a good Saturday. And welcome to our first live session. The point of this session is to really do feedback on your responses to the questions on the Aya platform. And today's session will be led by Benjamin, he will do his introduction, let you know about himself, and be able to guide us through the next session. We're glad that you've made it. We shall hopefully see the room fill up soon. Benjamin, I'd like to hand over to you. Just to note on the call, we also have Professor Amos Njuguna, and we also have Frederick Phillips, who are the trainers from Kenya and Ghana respectively, and they'll be supporting through this session. So Benjamin, over to you, and we look forward to an exciting hour on something.
All right, thank you very much, David, and also a warm welcome from my side. My name is, as David already mentioned, my name is Benjamin. I am German, and I also live in Germany, in the northern part of Germany, a city close, a relatively small city close to Hamburg. And I am still a PhD candidate who has been working on the development and evaluation of entrepreneurship trainings in general. And specifically, our research group has developed and also evaluated this concept of personal initiative, which if you have already gone through the slides, you have seen that this is a important component of this course. So yeah, and since in the first lesson we will talk about it's a lot about personal initiative, so we decided that this would be a good idea for me to guide through the session. Just first off, also to clarify, this session is not a lecture as you might expect it to be, or as you might be used for it to be compared to other entrepreneurship trainings or agripreneurship trainings. But this is really a session next to the mentor sessions. We already had 2 of those. Yesterday was a really great session with Virginia. And this session today is really for you to clarify questions that you have with regard to the course content, to look at the responses that you have given in the Aya platform, and to just really identify difficulties and struggles that you might have had. So those sessions, they kind of live through the answers that you have given in the Aya platform, and also through questions that you will ask now or during this course. And so yeah, I just encourage you. I will repeat that, I believe several times over the course of the session, but I really encourage you to actively participate in the IO platform and also use those sessions right now to ask questions, to just clarify, or to ask questions so that we can clarify any doubts that you might have. I will share the screen. I don't know how many of you are on the screen, but this would be the ideal way also to participate in this session. Can you, I just see, maybe Victor, I can see you. You have your camera on. Can you maybe nod if you can, if this works, if you can see the screen, or just give me a thumbs up? Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So this is, as it says here, it is oh, maybe, I think, but this hand has been up for quite some time. It's James. James, you have your hand up. Is that still, you still have, like, is that still a question that you have? Okay, thank you very much. All right, so what is this? It's a self-paced training conducted by FAO in partnership with the WU Forum, which focuses on personal initiative principles, namely being self-starting, future thinking, and we sometimes call it perseverance or being persistent in overcoming barriers. To help you identify opportunities in the value chain, conduct market research, develop prototype, and conduct financial calculations. So this is what this course is about. Most important thing is that it is self-paced training, as you can see here, right? So the great thing is that we, you can, first of all, I think all of you have joined the IO platform. So you can also see here all the members who are part of this training. And this is a closed group. So really see this as a safe space to ask questions, to clarify any doubts if you, but also see this as a possibility or opportunity to connect, okay? So what you can also see here, I'm just going to pick out, this is would be your profile. And what is also really useful would be to add some information on here, right? So for example, Collins, I don't know if you're in the session, but here's some small information, right? So he's into fish farming, as I can say it. I do fish farming and marketing respectively. I provide leads on fish farming and marketing through proposal writings. So for you in this course, we also divided you into groups. So we have the topics. So you already divided into groups, kind of based on the agri value chain that you're in. And you find, I think in each group are around 40 participants. So you can really also here not only answer the exercises, but really also use this to post questions, to connect with the people, and this will have then for you the most value of this course. Okay, so here once again, go back to the members, look through this, maybe add a short description of what you're doing, where you are. And so, for example, if I'm here, if I don't know, or if I'm not really good in proposal writing, and this is something, or in marketing, if there's a need, I already know, well, Collins is there, and he says he has experience in fish farming and marketing through proposal writing. So hey, why not? I could reach out to him, say hello, and really connect. Okay, then you have this. Now you're all, well, right now this is live, right? But let me just see. We will also upload all the sessions, all the course material is uploaded here. Then the live sessions are uploaded, and yesterday's mentorship session, if you missed it, I really recommend you to watch it again. Virginia, really great agripreneur who actually shows a lot of personal initiative, which we will talk about a little bit more this morning or this afternoon. And you can also, well, in case you missed something, just go back and watch it anytime you want, okay? Then finally, important is, or maybe the most important part, that the thing that will would have the biggest value to you being in this course is to, well, look at the course material, and within the course material, there are always exercises, right? There are exercises. The first ones are really related to personal initiative, or to the different facets of personal initiative. The other ones will be, so to say, more technical, thinking about your, this is still to come, but for example, your beachhead market, your target group, and so on, right? So the most value that you could get out of this course is working on the exercises and also posting them here. As I said, it is a closed group. It is kind of a safe space, and the idea is, well, post this in the IR platform and also give feedback to others. And well, when others give feedback to you, you will always also receive feedback from others. Okay, if you were there during the session yesterday with Virginia, she said it's very, very important to receive feedback, to look for feedback, and to look for positive feedback, but also to look for negative feedback, right? To just tell you people where you could go do better, or what you could change in order to be a more successful entrepreneur. So really use this IR platform. I think it's, well, conversations here, or the results. We have Priscilla here who has posted something. Victor was a little bit active, and Matthew. I think those were the ones that wrote something. The others, we have also kind of some multiple choice questions. There were also some activity there, but the most important would be to really also like do the exercises, and give feedback on what other people wrote, or on the results of the exercises of other people. And remember to give positive feedback and negative feedback both, and also well, in that way, if you do that, if everyone will respect that, then you can also make use of the negative feedback. Before I ask for questions from your side, just want to say, we will not in this platform, you will not answer to negative feedback. Okay, you just take it in, think about it, think about whether it is useful for you or whether it is not useful for your business, and then it's your decision what to do with this. Okay, it's very useful. It can be very useful, but sometimes also you have to evaluate this feedback that you get, and it might, in some cases, it might not be useful. Then you just leave it, but you do not comment. Okay, we do not want this going back and forth here, justifying yourself or whatever, but just take it in, think about it, whether it's useful for you, and then, well, either make good use of it or just leave it. Okay. Are there any questions regarding this, the IR platform? If you have a question, maybe there's this button. I don't know how familiar you are, but you can raise your hand, right, through Zoom. So if there is a question, please raise your hand, and I will see that, and then I could address you. Okay, Victor, I can also see this is you're raising your hand, right? Your actual hand. Okay, then Victor, very good. Please. We cannot hear you because you're muted still. Perfect.
Are you able to get me now? Can you get me now?
Yes, now I can hear you. Yes, now I can hear you.
Oh, thank you so much. My question is, I'm interested in poultry, and at the same time, I do tomato production. So in our platform, they are classified under 2 categories, under 2 groups. That is potato, and tomato farming is under vegetables and fruits, that is group 1. So how am I going to do this thing? Can I participate in both groups or just?
Yes, very good question. And I will answer. And I'm asking David, please, to correct me if I'm wrong here. But what happened is when you applied and you have several businesses. So as we had to kind of, well, we assumed that the first one that you put would be your biggest business. So we chose, in order to divide the groups, we chose the business that was indicated as the first business. And now for people like you who have two businesses and where it would be very valuable to be in those two groups, we can also do that. We can also provide access to the other group. So if that is for Victor, yeah, please, David, correct me if I'm wrong. Just please maybe now use this to put it in the chat and also say, well, I also have another business and I would also like to be in the other group. For all the others who hear this later on, as they would watch it later on, maybe use we have the WhatsApp group. You can post it there. Also advise or tell us that you also want to be in the other group. Or just write it here in the Aya platform. David?
I think one of the most important thing about entrepreneurship is focus in a way. And I think it's best that the agripreneur chooses which particular value chain, which particular sector he'd like to focus on. And I suggest that you stick to one particular group for this training session. I think that will give you a chance to get the best feedback, especially by focusing. And I think that's something we must have.
Okay, then we proceed like that. Just then, in that case, let us know if you are happy with the group that you are in. If we put you into one of the groups, but this is actually just really the smaller business, the business that you're not working on so much, then just let us know if you are in the wrong group. Okay, I think this could also be, it's also good. So focus on this, learn and learn for this business, and well, you can also always transfer this to the try to transfer this to the other group. Okay. The groups are identical. Mohammed, could you? I don't understand that. Could you know the difference in joining one or the other?
Yes, thank you, Victor. The groups are identical, so the questions are the same. It's just for us to divide people and have some sort of like a discussion amongst people. But you will also be able to discuss with other agripreneurs who are working on the vegetables value chain. If you can check in the Aya platform, there's a chat facility where you can ask everyone. But the groups have the same answers, the same questions. So it's just that you're going to have a bit of exchange amongst your people with similar value chain if you have specific question. So I like it's been said, stick to your group. It's the same things, it's the same information or questions you're going to get in both groups, just for us to be able to organize different people in different groups. The other thing, if you have a question related to your tomato business, please use the chat facility. You can seek out advice from other agripreneurs who are from that value chain. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. So yes, I opened the chat here. You can see the chat window. Only 2 messages here, but as Mohammed suggested, if you have questions, then make use of this opportunity in this chat, and yeah, maybe post it start off with saying this is for tomato business, and then post your question. All right, very good. Otherwise, also, as I said, as we started off, right here in the beginning, we have the members. So also you can scroll down here. And that's why I suggested that you put a small, short description, right? Passionate farmer, theologian, teacher, pastor. Okay, so Wycliffe, if you hear this, maybe make it more specific on what your what type of what you're doing, right? What you're doing in your as a farmer. So what your value chain actually is, so that people, as they scroll down here, they can very quickly identify who would be a very good person to contact for them. All right. Any other questions? All right. So then as I mentioned before, right, all the relevant material that we provide in this course is you can find here under this under course material, right? And so there's the introduction lesson. We have the 2 live sessions already. We actually have had 2 live sessions so far. You can re-watch them. I think they're also, well, very great examples of successful agripreneurs, where you can a lot learn from. And then also you have the course material, right? As I also mentioned, this is not, we will not go through this as kind of a lecture, right? But this is for you the opportunity also to ask questions regarding the course content, regarding things that are that were not clear as you went through the course material. I saw that some of you have already answered to some of the exercises, so you must have gone through the course material. Is there, first question, is there something that you maybe wrote down that you felt was not clear to you as you went through this? Okay, so what we will do now then also, well, I marked down some topics where I think we could take a second look at, and we will also then look at the results of the exercises that you did. Okay, but remember, it's for you. This session is for you to answer and clarify questions and doubts that you have regarding the course material. Okay. So those, well, some of you know this already. Okay, we have Moses and we have Aisha here. Moses, you will always see with more technical input, and also because he's a person, or both of them are agripreneurs, but he will be providing examples of his own business, and Aisha will be the one that is you will mostly see when we talk about personal initiative. Okay, so whenever you see her, she's also a successful entrepreneur, but technical questions will be a little bit more for Moses, and the facets of PI will be relevant, or will be whenever you see her, you know, okay, now it's time to think about or learn about the personal initiative. Okay, as we go down here, the course starts off right with a couple of misconceptions and myths. You can go through, think about whether you agree or disagree. There's some explanation, and you will then get the chance to reevaluate your first judgment. Okay, so this is kind of a nice and easy introduction. Then the definition that we have, it's a course, an agripreneurship training, right? And we use in this course the definition for agripreneurship, which is the process of discovering, testing, and pursuing opportunities in the agriculture sector. So it is not, very important word here is it's a process, right? And if you also think about, if you were there for, or if you listen to it again, to Virginia's talk, she also said it was a lot of learning, right? Ongoing learning, ongoing experimenting. It was not that she, and one important quote that I wrote down was, the business now looks a lot different from what I had envisioned, envisioned it to be in the first place. Okay, so a couple of years later, she went in with a certain idea, did a lot of learning, actually had very no knowledge or very little knowledge on how to do fish farming, gathered a lot of information, was really active, learned a lot on every parts of the business, and now actually has different revenue streams that are coming in, some that she had never imagined in the first place that she could actually have this, the fish feed, if you remember. So yeah, it's very important to understand that this is a process of discovering, testing, and pursuing opportunities in the agriculture sector. Okay, and this is the graphic that we use. So as you can see, the headline, the definition of agripreneurship, right? The process of discovering, testing, and pursuing opportunities. And down below is the graphical illustration of this process. Okay, in the next two, you have the description. Okay, the description of this graphic, which you might have looked at, or if not, you can look at it, and you see, so those on the next two slides, you can see very well, or this process is explained well. But maybe is there someone who can, in his or her own words, describe what you see here? Is that it also would be a very important feedback to us if this is understandable. Is there someone who could give it a try and explain what is this about? What do you see here? If you want to speak, then please put your hand up.
Benjamin, can I pick from the room? Let me put a few people on the spot here.
Well, but yeah, we can try.
All right, Matthew from Ghana, would you want to give this a shot? I mean, there are no right or wrong answers, so just go through it the way you understand, and then where there are gaps will help everybody. So let's make this as interactive as possible. Thank you, Matthew.
Yes, sir, please. I'm trying to go through, so I'll come back.
All right. Thank you. Who else wants to give this a try?
I want to.
Okay, Daniel.
Yes, please. So I see it as the process of discovering and testing your business opportunity. So I would say it begins with the identification of your business idea, which is right in the middle. Then you proceed to evaluate it against your own experience and other people's experience, the financials you have at your disposal, and then talk to your friends and get their feedback on what you intend to do. Then all those things help you improve the business model or the idea you have, and then try to scale it up, pushing it to the next stage. The rectangle just on the right hand side. So at that stage, you have improved the idea, you pivoted, that is modifying it, like Virginia said yesterday. Mostly the idea you start out with is not always what works in the market. after talking to people and then others, you realize that it's not going to work the way you thought. And other things from after talking to people will make more sense than what you thought. Then you buy into those ones and modify it. So after you modify it, you now carry that idea to the market. So when you send it to the market, people give you feedback and other things, and then the resources you have, your skills, your knowledge, your creativity, and other things are all poured into it in the market. That is to modify the product you have, that is to solve the problems, and then in there you have problems, you face frustrations, and then new needs to be met. All those things feed back into the business plan to modify the idea. So it's sort of cyclical, to keep on improving as you go. That's my summary of what I see.
Okay, thank you very much, Daniel. It did not come perfectly clear to me because the sound was very low. So I'm not able to give you a very qualified feedback on this. But let's hear. Or is there Frederick or Professor Amos? Can you, or shall we hear Priscilla first because her hand is up?
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Thank you, Priscilla. Please go ahead. I think we cannot hear you. Yeah, still, I'm sorry, Priscilla, there's still no sound. Okay, maybe, yeah, I think we try someone else. Is there anyone else who would like to give it a shot?
Yes, I'm here, Victor. Can I try?
Perfect. Yes, go ahead, Victor.
Thank you so much. Now,
I think, Victor, it might be good if you turned off the video because we cannot not hear you so well. Maybe that helps for the sound. Not very well. Can you turn off the video? That would, I think that could help. Nope, that didn't help. I'm sorry. Sorry, Victor. Maybe now. Give it. Okay, one last try, Victor. Please go. Yep, I think we have to give up on that. Sorry, Victor. Thank you very much for speaking up or for trying to explain this. Maybe one last person, hoping for a better connection. Anyone else? Okay. Yes, as I cannot provide a good feedback to Daniel as I missed some parts there. But so we have, in my own words now, also you can read, as I said, the description of this you can find also on the next two slides. Okay. What is important here is also, well, we said it is an ongoing process, right? It is an ongoing process and a process where people who show personal initiative, which means people who are self-starting, future-oriented, and are persistent in overcoming the barriers that they face, will have a much greater chance of succeeding. Okay, so you see this, the personal initiative here, as its own concept, right? And this is what people who incorporate this are, or there's a great chance of them succeeding in whatever they do as agripreneurs. That's why you see those three facets here in all those boxes, right? This is important in every step of the agripreneurial process or in agripreneurship. You also see those three circles here, right? And if we go down a little bit, it means or it represents structured experimentation. So as it says here, it's an effective and efficient way to find out what works and what does not work. So this process reduces your risk and has the potential to increase the value of your company, right? Also here, important, not a one and done process or a one and done thing that you do this once and then you have your business and you move on and you never have to change again. That would be nice, right? But unfortunately, or maybe even fortunately, agripreneurship and entrepreneurship is not like that, but it's important to keep on moving, right? And to follow this process of structured experimentation. And this means that you, in every phase of in agripreneurship, it's important to really not take anything for granted, but to constantly build assumptions on different things, to test those assumptions, and to learn from the tests that you did based on the assumptions. And from those learnings, you then go back and build new assumptions, okay? And this is also a process which is integrated or which is part of the whole process of agripreneurship, of this whole process of discovering, testing, and pursuing opportunities, okay? So we have here what is important, what is relevant to know. It is the resources. It is the resources that you have, your skills and knowledge, your creativity, to be aware of the financial resources, to think about if you don't have the necessary financial resources, where to get them, and also very important, your social resources. Okay, to see the people that I know, how can they provide information to me, or whom do I need to contact to get the information that I need for my business. Okay, so social resources also very important. Okay, and you can later on look at it if we go through the facets of PI. We'll look at this chart again, but this is what it means. Be like, both of them are proactive behaviors, right? So be active in going out, improving your skills and knowledge. Be as creative as possible in coming up with new things to identify resources, right? Be active in expanding your network, in thinking who could be there to help you. So very important, the structured experimentation and personal initiative for the resources. Also, for the final thing also here, if you remember the skills and knowledge, if you remember Virginia yesterday, she actually had no or very limited knowledge for this fish farming business, right? And she went out, she was really active. Well, I think a big source were also like the videos that she watched on YouTube. She went out to the market, talked to people in the market, received feedback from them. So step by step, she gained the necessary knowledge she needed in order to start and later on run this fish farm business. Okay, second part here, the market. Okay, we will also look at the market, in the market that you're in the agri value chain that you are in. We will look at that in more depth, in more detail. But it's also, you see also here, personal initiative and structured experimentation is a part of that. Okay, so you look at in the market, you look at where you are at in the agro value chain, and you look at what are problems that people are facing, what are needs that people are facing, what are here the frustrations that people have, and how could my business try, or the product or the service that I'm offering, how could that help overcome or solve the problems and frustrations of the people in the market? How could I serve the needs that they have? Okay, and also this, well, it requires personal initiative. It requires an active behavior to go out, identify the problems, to identify the needs. It's not something that someone will bring to you. Okay, but it's something that requires you to become active and to go out and look at the market that you're in. With this, well, we have the business idea, or could also be the expansion of your business. For example, like if you already have a business, a new product, right? A new business idea within your existing business. And then the very important also, so you come up with that, which also obviously requires a proactive behavior. And then very important also the evaluation, okay, of the business idea or of the new addition to your business. So you could just go out and think that whatever you come up with is the right answer, but a much better idea would be to evaluate this first, right, on a small scale, to experiment. We have this here, experiment, you build a prototype, you seek feedback actively. Also, this is also an active behavior. Seek feedback. That if you go back to Virginia yesterday, she went out and asked, like, how could I improve? How could I get how do you like my product? What is there to change? Very important also the negative feedback, right? Make experiences through the experimenting and through building the prototype. Also use your own evaluation, and of course the evaluation of others, right? And not only others that are close to you, but also feedback. Seek for feedback that is not, we always say feedback that is not easy to get, right? Really comfortable is the feedback from the people that are close to you. But very important, or maybe even better and honest, would be the feedback from others that are not so close to you. Okay, and then the result of this evaluation process could be that pretty much everything is good. Okay, so you start or improve your business and you scale up, or it could also be that you find out that the business idea that you had, or the new thing that you wanted to do in your business turned out to be not that good. Okay, so what do you do then? Do you give up? Of course not. You show personal initiative. Okay, you persevere, you persist in overcoming this barrier, and you start this process all over again. Okay, you look at the resources that you have available, again the market, and from the test that you have here, from the structured experimentation, you learn, you make good use of this learning, and you adjust your business idea or your new product or whatever. Okay, so this, in my own very long words, was the description of this graphic. Okay, and you find it a little bit more precise and compact on those two slides. Mohammed, please.
Thank you, Benjamin. Could we maybe have the trainees explain to us the process that Virginia did, or maybe Sam? We listen to two people, and even if they want to share from their own experiences, this process in the chart, or stories, or explain it to us in your own words. If you want to use related to, I don't know, some stories in Kenya or Ghana, please go ahead. I think that's a good idea if we hear from them to relate either Virginia's story or their own stories to this process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good. We can do this if someone wants to speak up now. If not, we can also do this later on, facet by facet of PI. But if someone, that would be good chance also to refer Virginia's business or also your business or someone else's business to this process.
Benjamin and Mo. So there's one business I know here, Ento Farms, Victor Wafu from Ghana, who is part of the KIC Agritech Challenge. Victor, are you there? Victor Wafu.
Yeah, hi. Please, I'm here.
All right. So Victor, based on what we've just gone through, the process of discovering, testing, and pursuing the opportunities, could you briefly walk us through what you've done at Ento Farms? I mean, based on this sketch or diagram, briefly.
Oh, okay, for sure. So initially, it all started with finding the need, what the customers really wanted. And we found out that what they all wanted was affordable feed. And we were able to produce that using insects. So now the next issue we faced was, are the farmers going to be interested in this new product? Because in this part of the world, a lot of people are reluctant to try out something that is new. So we decided to go out and speak to a couple of farmers. And the feedback we got was actually great, because once our product could do what it claimed, then they had no problem trying it out. So what we had to do is we couldn't sell off the bat. So we had to give them samples to conduct feed trials for themselves. So those who were interested actually came back. And that was it basically.
And how did you come about, like, for example, the resources? How did you come up to start this business in this area?
The resources.
Mm-hmm. For example, did you have any knowledge and skills in this?
Yes. So, good. So basically, we started out in poultry, but then we also experienced the high cost. So I mean, it all started with simple online search, and we started gathering information from Google, YouTube. Then we met people online. So we actually had a representative from the CSIR. It's a top research institution in Ghana. Train me. So I started off producing this due to those experiences.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. And this Train Me, what do they do exactly? Maybe this could be of relevance also to the others.
CSIR. So basically, they are a research institution, and they research into livestock and animals in general. But then they also offer training on producing insects for the production of livestock. So we reached out to a representative over there who was able to give us assistance.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Is that free? Like, did you have to pay for that?
No. It's not free. You pay. Mm-hmm. You pay. Yeah. It's cost in Ghana cedis, it costs about 750 cedis. But then because we did it one-on-one with the representative himself, we paid about 500 cedis.
Okay, very good. And would you recommend that?
Oh, definitely. I mean, but to tell you the truth, most of the information during the training, we realized that we had gotten most of it online already. Mm-hmm. So it was just a couple of new things that we learned. Mm-hmm. But if you ask me, a lot of the things could be easily learned online.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so also, well, here some knowledge and skills were available. Still expanded on those. Got actively reached out to this institution to get more skills and knowledge. Very low financial or small financial resources, but correct me if I'm saying something wrong, but so went on step by step, right? Started out small and just provided small samples to test the idea and then to start the business. Very good. Thank you very much. Perfect example. Is there someone else maybe? Freddie, I saw you unmuted yourself.
Yes, so just to add to Victor's submission, so what, as mentors and as coaches, what we did was to push them to help address the bid on the market. We got them to do a lot more market research, just so that they're able to identify what the frustrations or the problems of their customers are. So that was also critical as part of the entire process. In most cases, if there's a need for them to pivot based on the feedback they get, we encourage them to kind of do that. Yeah.
You encourage them to do what?
To pivot from what they're currently doing. Yeah. So typically you get people coming with ideas, but then once you evaluate, you test, and you realize that's not what the market is looking for. If there's an alternative or based on the needs of the market, we encourage them to pivot. So that's something that happens.
Yes, very good. Victor, I see you. I just want to add something here. So this is, it's, maybe we should have put this in a different color also, because the pivoting is actually here, the red is kind of danger color, right? But this is totally fine. It's a totally fine and very natural result that you will get, right? That from the initial business idea that you had, you will get some feedback, and that there are some changes that need to be made to your initial business idea. Okay, so yeah, thank you, Frederick, also for this. So yeah, it's in red, but it's actually a good result. Okay, it's some kind of negative feedback that you will get here, and now your challenge is to make use of this feedback and to improve your business. There was some hand up that is now down again. Oh, yeah, Victor, there you are.
Yeah. I just wanted to add to what Fred said regarding the market research, because it's actually opened us to new angles of the market, and it made us realize that the demand was actually bigger than we anticipated. And through the market research, we're able to identify certain behaviors of farmers. So now, in developing future strategies, it's quite easier to reach and work with them now. So just in case we decide to expand capacity, we shouldn't have issues developing our customer base.
Okay, perfect.
So I just want to just clarify how important it was.
Perfect.
And I went the research. Yeah.
Very good. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, maybe one other person. If not, we can also do this at a later point in time, but if someone would like to share their experience, that would be nice. Okay. We can do this now also when we look at the facets of BI. Okay, so here, once again, you have this graphic, right? You have the explanation of this graphic, and we put it again so that you can look at it again after reading or learning the meaning behind this. Okay, then, as I mentioned in the beginning, so a big part of this also, when you look at this graphic again, is personal initiative, right? Personal initiative, a big part of entrepreneurship, of agripreneurship. So the question now is, what does that actually mean? What do we say if we say someone is showing a personal initiative? Okay, it means, so there are three facets to this, to personal initiative, and they are not, well, it's not a circle. You cannot really replace, or you cannot replace one with the other, but there are three facets that are equally important in order for someone to, if we would say that person shows personal initiative. Yeah, you have to kind of be or be active in those, or show those three facets. Okay. And the first one is, we call it being self-starting. Okay, a very short summary would be to act first instead of reacting. Then also to be future-oriented. So first thing, to plan ahead for future opportunities and problems. Maybe what could be added here is also to not only just plan ahead, but and make also already today the precautions or preparations in order to being able to seize opportunities in the future or to counter the problems that you will face. And then the third facet, being persistent in overcoming barriers. So important message, don't get frustrated by errors and barriers, view them as a chance to learn and to improve your business, okay? Because if you are self-starting, if you want to be new, if you want to be different, if you want to do something like Virginia did, she said, I think, I wanted to be that person that does something that no one has done before. So obviously she will run into problems and barriers, okay? So the easiest way then, if that happens, if you run into a barrier or a problem, of course, the easiest way would be to give up. Okay, so that problem is you just leave it and do something else. Okay, or if you show personal initiative, you try to find ways to get around this barrier and this problem. All right, so here, whenever you see this sign, we use this this presents the self-starting facet of PI. Okay, we'll look at this and then we can see how a very great example, Virginia, or also for yourself. We can see if you showed for your business self-starting behavior. So what we use here are also throughout this course are so-called action principles. Okay, and those action principles, they are very or relatively short rules of thumb, as you can see here, which means that they are action ready on what to do and how to do it in order to be successful as an entrepreneur. Okay, and also here, important on a side note, the action principles, whenever, as you can see here at the bottom, whenever it says action principles, those are rules of thumb that are actually derived from scientific evaluation and findings and are thus evidence-based. So it's not just a recommendation that came up into our head, but it's actually scientifically evaluated rules of thumb, okay, that have shown to be of good use, of good value to entrepreneurs and agripreneurs. All right, so what does it mean being self-starting? It is can be very well explained by using also the opposite, okay? So being reactive. So it means to, for example, start an action yourself instead of just waiting until you have to react, okay? Or to change, or not or, but and to actively, for example, change your environment and unfavorable circumstances instead of just reacting to them, okay? To act first, to be ahead of your competitors instead of just waiting until your competitors act first. To be new, to try out new ways, actively look for new ideas, implement new ideas, to be different, to, for example, advertise differently, actively look for information and gather information, and to actively look for possibilities to learn. Okay, so we've a great example right now. It was Victor, right, who said they went online, they gathered information, and they also reached out to this research institute to learn more, to get more knowledge. Okay, so I think a good way, could someone maybe put the activities or rate Virginia's behavior regarding or compare her behavior to those facets, to all this what is being said, or also for yourself behavior, your own behavior, sorry, your own behavior in if you were really self-starting, if you showed personal initiative by being self-starting. Could someone try to match this, your behavior or Virginia's behavior to the examples that are given here. Greatest value also in this course, if you actively participate. So just give it a try. Don't be afraid. We're in this, it's a small group, relatively small group. Just go ahead and give it a try. You don't have to do the whole list, maybe just one or two. Do you see something here that represents your own behavior, or also the behavior of Virginia? Edmund, you're unmuted.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much.
With the action principles, I think being self-starting, I have some characters, and being reactive too, I have some characters I've seen I have to work on. With self-starting, you start an account on your own, and I am the type who always want to take the challenge quick. Then when you come to being reactive, I always want to hear from people first, and always want to adhere the same way to others. So I don't try to look different in the market, but I want to follow the same principles that other businesses are doing. So it's something I think I have to improve upon in my area. I need to be different from my competitors, and I need to set certain standards for myself, which is far different from how other customers or other competitors treat their customers. So it's something I've picked up from this chart.
Mm-hmm. So you are seeing that they are not treating their customers well? Is that what I...
No, they treat them well, but I look at their ideology, and based on that, I begin to follow. But I have to do something different from what they do for the customers. For instance, I have a product that we give credit lines to customers. I import concentrates, and every business is giving credit. So I begin to also give credit to the customers. But I should make it in a way that if I'm sticking to cash sales, I do cash sales with other technical services. But to follow my competitors in giving credit, I think is something new I'm discovering here that I have to work upon in my business.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good, very good. If someone, I have no experiences in that. If someone here has experiences or would like to comment on what Edmund said, please also speak up now. Or also, Edmund, I would encourage you to also post that in the IR platform, and also to seek for feedback there. Okay, maybe someone has made experiences in what you are planning to do, or could also give you some advice. Okay, if someone here is there someone here who would like to comment on what Edmund said? But very good identifying what your competitors do, and also seeking to be different. So just the next step would be to try this out, right? If someone, is there someone who could give feedback to Edmund?
Grow for me, do you have anything based on your model and how that ties into Edmund's submission?
I missed a bit of that due to network issues.
Mm-hmm. No problem, Edmund. So Frederick, you think that Victor could have something? Is that correct?
No, I'm asking Chamberlain from Grow for Me.
Okay.
Chamberlain, if you're in there and you can hear us, could you give us some submission on what Edmund just said, on how you've handled yours as a business? Okay, looks like he's away from his laptop.
But very good. Edmund, maybe could you repeat the name? So the name would be Chamberlain?
Grow for me Chamberlain, BF. I think he's not by his laptop. Yeah.
Okay, but Edmund, take good notes of that, and maybe you could reach out to that person and get some valuable feedback. Okay. Or just also post this in the platform, on the platform, and there will be, I mean, we're 80 people. We're 80 people on this platform, so make good use of this, of all the knowledge that is available. Okay, thank you very much. Someone else to add on here?
Yeah, Mo was asking if we have any examples from Kenya.
Matthew, your hand is up, please.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, I'm more into production, and I want to share an experience I had for the past almost a year now. So I'm speaking on the change your environment and unfavorable circumstances. Yeah. So for being self-starting, what I did was at a point in time I was growing a particular vegetable, and I was not fortunate, but the land was a clay land, a clay soil. So I was advised to move from that area to another area to grow there. But I felt like no, I think maybe probably the seedlings or the hair as it's been a baby, as it's growing, it may not survive in the clay. So I had to react on one or two things and probably take an initiative of getting a disposable caps and nesting it the seeds in the disposable caps just to grow the crop, the plant for some time. So at a point I realized that when I realized it was more matured, and I transported, I took it back to the main field, which was a clay soil, and hold and behold, it grew, and it also caused that area had a lot of advantages for me, because there was a lot of there was water there, whatever I need to grow those vegetables. But as I took the initiative of having the idea and growing it in a disposable caps, then I got a good result. So now I'm still there. I didn't move. I never listened to what they said, but I personally was able to do that, and now things are working well for me.
Wonderful, perfect example. Okay, so difficulties or very, very unfavorable circumstances with the soil. Correct me at any time if I'm wrong, right? But so the easiest way would have been to just say, okay, as probably many other people did, I assume, that they said, okay, nothing grows here. But you really came up with this new idea. You experimented. You probably, I don't know how many you had in the first place. You said disposable cups, right?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yes. Wonderful. So you did that, experimented, got a good feedback from this, and now you learned from the experiences you made, and you are able to grow something in the soil that was not possible before. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Wonderful. Very good example. I think you also posted something in the Aya platform with regards to that, with the disposable cups and the testing. Perfect example. Wonderful.
I'll show you that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Thank you, sir.
So perfect. Okay. Very good examples. Okay. One who is still seeing that he is still too reactive and he should change something about this, and the other example who already showed personal initiative and actually went ahead, experimented, tried out new ways, different methods, and was able to overcome the problem or the barrier that he faced, and to change really this the unfavorable circumstance. Okay, so this perfect examples. Thank you very much. And well, this is as you see the results. They will lead to success. Okay, if you are self-starting, if you do that, there's a big chance that you will be successful instead of being reactive, as this will not lead to success but to failure of the business. Okay, wonderful. So we have just 10 more minutes. So, but I want to also where this should these sessions where they should go. It's about that. It's about sharing your experiences, also with relation to the course content, and but also looking at the results that people shared. Okay, so there is, if we go further down, there are two short case studies, so to say, of a self-starting agripreneur, and her name is Annie, and there's a reactive agripreneur, Pauline. I forgot this time, I think we did not check if there's a Pauline in this course. So please, if you are, and the reactive agripreneur, don't take it personal. Just an example, and yeah, be the Pauline, be the self-starting, become the self-starting Pauline, not take this as the example. Okay, so the first exercise here is to go through this and write down self-starting and reactive behaviors of Annie and Pauline, which is really, which is what some of you did, and really good. But then also more importantly, maybe is the next exercise, and that is to identify self-starting and reactive behaviors of yourself, in your daily routine. Okay, so the instruction here is to identify self-starting and reactive behavior in your daily routine. So write down all the activities that you have done last week with regard to your job or business activity. Take another look at your daily routine. What was good? Where have you been passive and reactive? And where have you not acted in a self-starting way? And lastly, write down alternative good and self-starting behaviors you could have shown, or you might also show in the future. Okay, and this is also, some of you did that, and we will look at the results quickly. So okay, wonderful. Even a new result coming in. I think it's quite new from Priscilla. You were very active. That was really good. We will. Victor, also active, overcoming barriers. Okay, also very good. But we will look at the, where is it? Let me, self-starting behavior of Annie and Pauline. There you go. Priscilla, Matthew, Victor, all presenting results. Very good. And here's the exercise that we were at now. Okay, so same exercise that you find in the slides, you will also find in the different groups. And is that the same? Yeah, that's the same, Matthew, right? Yeah, wonderful. Is that okay if we look at your results here during this session? Okay, 2 more seconds to, if you don't want that. 1, 2, okay, we look at it. So very good. Your daily routine for the last week, or different activities that you had: visiting the farm site, checking the nursery field, controlling weeds on the nursery beds, watering the seedlings, spraying fungicides, spraying weedicides, main field. Okay, what was not good was delegating and not supervising farm laborers to spray the fungicide right and on time. So he was passive by relying on the farm laborers on very important activity. Okay. I should have gotten rid of, I think this is something else. Yes, I should have gotten there, knowing that main field is that of clay soil. Okay, so here the idea is, oh, sorry, move down to, move down, sorry, my bad. There you go. So the idea for others now is to provide feedback to this, okay, to provide feedback to the results. So there's actually, I think the last part is missing. So what was not good was delegating and not supervising the farm laborers in spraying the field on time. Being passive is relying on the farm laborers to do an important activity, which was not done right and on time. So most importantly then also is, so what will you do differently in the future? Or if Matthew, if you want to reply, then please go ahead. Of course, this is your post. If someone else, what could? Oh, thank you, Matthew.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, as I said earlier, I was relying on the laborers. Sometimes, normally, we the farm managers, we normally rely on the laborers, especially when it comes to the spraying or maybe watering and stuff. But sometimes they don't do that. These are the major things that if you don't water your crops, well, it won't grow. Well, if you don't apply the right amount of fungicides or whatever, or even the weedicide, if you don't do the thing, those things that you don't take is not even important. If you don't do it well, you lose the yield that you want. Okay, so if you want to get the right yields, you need to follow the protocols very, very well. And so that's what I did. I just gave it out. But for my experience, I've told myself that in any stage of the farming activity, I'll make sure that I am there to supervise, especially the early stage of the growth of the plants. So that's what I've told myself. For the early stage of the growth of the plants, I have to be there to supervise and stuff, for me to get a good yield in future.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. Is there anything to add from other people here? Anything that is that the right solution to this problem, or any other people who face the same problem, and who, like, how do you, for example, if you have to go away, how do you supervise? Is there anything to add here? Okay, perfect. So actually, this is also refers to the second facet of PI. Okay, being future oriented, thinking about what will happen in the future, that if I don't act accordingly today. Okay, so if you already know that this could happen in the future, then today you will already make the plans to do the right supervision, or to teach them in a way that they would know how to apply this correctly in the future, right? So yeah, but thank you very much, Matthew. And so this is, as we're coming now to the end, but this is the idea, a great value that this course could bring. Okay, that you share, that you post the results of the exercises in this platform, and that someone, maybe there are also some things that, or there are other exercises where there will be different kind of feedback, but that you post this online, and that you give others the chance to comment on the results of your exercise. Okay, so yeah, I encourage you to use this, as this would have the most value for you in this course. Okay, all right. I think there are already other people. Victor also posted here. There are other people who posted on the other exercises. So yeah, take a look at this, or take a look at the results. Also post your own results and give feedback to others. Okay, So we did not go through this through the whole course material, right? There's more to this. But the good thing is, as this is self-learning, you can always check on it, and you can look at the rest of the course material later on. Yes, please, Mohammed.
Thank you, Benjamin. I would appreciate it. Maybe around, let's say, 5 people share their experiences on the first lesson or the introduction lesson. Maybe you can share what did you like about it, what didn't you like about it, if it was too much material. What is the feedback? I'm interested to hear from people. What do they think about the introduction lesson? Anybody would like to share, especially the people who didn't speak, or if the people who spoke and want to speak again, that's also okay. You can share what are the parts was least clear, what are the parts that you liked, that you found useful and you can apply to your business. You can also share stories, give us examples, whatever you feel like.
Can I go on?
Yeah, please.
Oh, this is Victor from Kenya. To me, this platform has been, thank you so much. The platform has been of great help unto me I got into entrepreneurship, being that it's a passion, but I didn't. I'm an undergraduate in electrical and electronics engineer. So that's my profession, things to do with electronics and electrical things. But agriculture is my passion, I would say, but I don't have a lot of knowledge in agriculture, and this platform is teaching me a lot to do more things on business and agriculture. I do tomato farming, but this is an opportunity during the COVID-19 and we could not get a lot of jobs around, and so we had to do things from indoors. But I got this opportunity of doing tomato farming from a friend who is running a hotel. And in the evening, he complained to me that being tired, and he would not go to the market to get some tomatoes and other things that he was to use the next day. And so I saw this as an opportunity I could chip in. Now, instead of going to farm and fetch some tomatoes, this is an example. The friend is an example of others who are running hotels, small hotels. And so they need this. If somebody can bring vegetables or whatever they need unto them, it could be of great help unto them. And this is an opportunity that I saw. Oh, I was like, this is an idea I can take and make money from this. So instead of buying from other sellers, tomato sellers, and bringing them or taking them to the hotel managers, I thought of starting my own business, being a passionate agriculture. Formerly, I used to do vegetables, purely kales. Yeah. And now I thought of farming tomatoes and supplying to the hotels. That is what I do today. And so from this thing, I've got greater market strategies to look at. I'm considering to grow to use a teamwork. I'm currently working alone, but in a few instances that I would call upon other people to help, of which I would pay some little stipends. Now, I'm looking forward to do more on teamwork, get others to help so that I would increase my production and more income. And from that, I can employ others because I need people to process and grading and supplies. I cannot do it alone, doing all the same things. Like a tomato farm needs a lot of work. Like we have weed control, we have spraying, we have staking. It's all work throughout, and I need to balance my profession and my passion at the same time. That is agriculture, and I need to do it, both of them, which gives me income. And so I'll need to work with other people. That means I'll be employing others, and I'll be an employer, creating employment to others. We are having in Africa, not only in Kenya, we have an employment challenge among the youth. Yeah. Now, I want to say thank you so much for this platform. It has opened my eyes greatly to, I think there is a challenge I was facing. I highlighted it on the platform. I would consider it in the future. But I'm so much grateful. I want to say thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Victor. Really appreciate.
Yeah.
So from our side, just also to encourage you to make the most use of this time, right? To make the most use of this platform of the network that you have here. Update your profile so that everyone knows what you are doing, what you are looking for, what you can offer, and what you need. And yeah, just participate actively and make the most use of this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Victor. Matthew, maybe, and yeah, you're also unmuted.
Yeah, so I want to add up to what my brother said. You see, looking at the theory aspect, sometimes for we the youth, we may see it to be so nice and stuff. More probably even when we had a session with the entrepreneurs who they were telling us their experience and stuff. But I feel like what I wish we can include is a practical training, okay, a full training for at least some months, 3 or 6 months. So we do a bit of, we balance it. We do a bit of theory, and if you can probably arrange for us to also have a practical training, a physical one, for at least for some months, it also help us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think.
Can I add on something?
Yes, please.
If we can access, we got exposed to Virginia doing it, like she told us whatever she's doing, and we really got inspired. I'm asking if it can be organized, if it's possible. Now we can be taken to the field to see the real thing. If I'm working on tomatoes, we have Trigger Foods. I think they are doing the tomato business also internationally. And I would like to be a competitor. So if I can be taken to Trigger Foods, maybe see whatever they are doing in a better, or another company that is supplying tomatoes internationally or anywhere, it can be of great value unto me. My brother there, Matthew, is doing, I think he's doing vegetables. Now, if he can be taken to a company doing, or an industry doing vegetable farming in large scale, he can get everything better and raw. Thank you.
Yes, please, Mohammed.
Sorry, colleagues, I dropped off. Someone called me on my phone. These are all great suggestions, but it's just that it's a bit out of the scope of this training. And now with COVID and travel restrictions. So let's finish the training. This is our first introduction. We still have a long way to go, and then we can definitely share these in your recommendations for what to do in the next steps. But let's now focus on the task at hand. So anything else, any other comments on the training itself? I think what I caught from Victor's story on tomato, it's a great example of self-starting behavior, identifying opportunities. Sorry, I get notification on recording. So maybe if someone can explain back to me, what is your understanding of structured experimentation? That will be very helpful. What do you think that process is? You can use your own words. Imagine you speaking to someone who haven't heard about it before. You can use a story that is usually in Ghana or Kenya or whatever way you want to explain it. I think that will be very helpful. If someone else wants to share from their own businesses, I think Victor's story is really interesting. Feel free to just unmute and start speaking.
Well, sorry.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yes, but comparatively is better.
Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
We cannot really hear you. It's a Cuthbert Kabanabil. It doesn't really come through.
But I think someone else was speaking.
Yeah. Yeah, tried to, but it didn't really come through.
Okay, anyone else?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, under structured argumentation from my story, I got to learn from whatever I've been doing. I started tomato farming when while I was fresh, I was green. I never knew anything about tomato farming. Now I had to go deep down into books, internet, and throughout I had to learn from other farmers. I've been visiting other farmers, though I'm trying to do something different they're not doing. They are taking their tomatoes directly, but I want to supply directly to the customer. Yeah, I want my farm to deal directly with the customers, not through middlemen. And so through that, I've been phasing 1 and 2, and I've been improving. I test, I work, and then learn from that. From whatever I've learned, I do better. Initially, I supplied my tomatoes without grading them. So they were mixed, the small sizes, the medium sizes, and the big sizes. And then later on, customers were not well with us. So from the feedbacks I could get, so I changed. I started grading my tomatoes. If somebody needs the small sizes, I would supply the exact small sizes. But when you're supplying the small sizes, they have to be of great quantity. So other customers value the quantity than the quality. So others value the quality than the quantity. So I think from there I got structured experimentation. I think I can explain it up to that. Hoping for some corrections. Thank you.
That's great, Victor. Thank you for sharing. I think so this is exactly what we're going to talk about next week, our lesson on value chain. That's actually a powerful tool to identify opportunities. How can you cut the middleman? How can you look at where you are in the value chain and then create forward and backward linkages? All of this is going to hear next week. So please keep that in mind. You have to share again next week with us. So have you done any, you have identified, you had the assumption because of your friend that there's a demand for tomato. But you didn't just go all in, no? You started small, or did you do any experimentation? Did you try, for example, to go buy 3 kg of tomato and try to sell it to people to see if that's actually the demand is actually there or not? Remember Virginia, she had this assumption from her family that people will demand fresh fish, but she didn't just go and invest all her money in something. She had a small pond first. She had a small kiosk to sell fish, to actually verify the demand. Prof. Am was in his interview with Sam, if you remember that interview, he called it Mirage Market. So sometimes you think there's a market, but sometimes it doesn't exist. So did you do any experimentation in your journey?
Actually, without knowledge and skills, I just went ahead and invested all that I had. I had some few chickens and I sold them, and so to do the tomato farming. So I started big because of the opportunity I saw, without much knowledge and skills, without much knowledge about entrepreneurship. So I just started with a very big vision. And actually, I partly failed and I partly succeeded, because from my failure of not knowing, I have something to do. I have to better my experiences today. Actually, I'm doing a greater job today by whatever I'm doing.
Okay, can you share these failures you mentioned? What would you do? What different would you do if you had to repeat the story, the same process again?
What I would do differently today is to acquire more knowledge on whatever I want to do, more knowledge, do more research, and I would work with people. I would create a network so that I would not work alone. Failure is expensive. Working alone, one-man team, I do say that a one-man army is an expensive army. And so I would not want to repeat the failures that I've gone through the past, but I would like to meet newer challenges that I would have a greater network or a greater team to help me solve.
That's a great point. Failure is expensive. So that's why you need to experiment instead of just selling all your chicken, putting all your chicken in one basket.
Thank you.
you do it step by step. Anyone else has feedback for Victor or want to share their own story? Please go ahead.
Matthew, please.
Yeah, I have a feedback for Victor. So for me, what I think the little advice I'll give is, and before that, most of us, especially the youth, most of us, we're not ready to learn from those who are already in the system. Sometimes our advice is that sometimes you just go under somebody for some time, go under those who are already in the market or already doing that same kind of business you want to do, and stay there a little bit, learn from them for some time, at least 2 or 3 years, get a little bit experience, because there's some people, most of the mentors, they have a way of doing working. You may see it as a straight way of doing your thing, but they have some kind of technique that they do. So these techniques, when you are with them, probably you will see how they operate, and you also use it to polish yourself and establish your own company. So let's be willing to learn from them practically before you start the business itself. That's what I did. I'm growing this Asian vegetables. So marrow, turia, but all these vegetables in Ghana here, we hardly see people growing. People grow more of the peppers and the tomatoes and stuff. But this vegetables, kind of vegetables, is growing here, but few people are growing it. So if you don't learn from these people, you cannot do it. So that's what I did. I learned from them, and they are foreigners, and they are in the country. So let's learn from people, those who are already in the system. So it also help you. Thank you.
That's great, Matthew. It's good to learn from people and also try not to copy. Identify an opportunity and try to see where are the gaps, exactly like what Victor did. So Matthew or others, what is your definition of structural experimentation from your own understanding? You can use your own words. You can also share more from your story. Whatever you feel like. You can refer to Virginia or Victor's story. Or you can link it to the process of entrepreneurship, the definition that Benjamin has mentioned today.
Hi.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so from Virginia's story, she saw a problem. She tried to solve it by getting fish into her pond. Then she went to the market to find out if they really take the fish. She said she spoke to market women, a few people who she would later compete with. And then she came back to come and add to what she knew to take care of the fish and help them to grow. At some point, she realized that the fish were not growing as much as she thought they would be. After about 6 to 8 months, they were not as large as she thought. So she had to go back, go and watch a few videos, go and try buying different type of feed, and then come back to reiterate what she knew. Eventually, she was able to realize that making her own feed and then even investing in red worms was what was the best way to go. So it's even cheaper feed, and then she gets the quality and the sizes that she needs. So structured experimentation I would say it's on learning most of the things we know, adding new information, and then reiterating along the way in the most efficient way possible.
That's a great definition. Yeah, very good. So it's basically spending a small amount of money and time for you to test your idea, right? So what is the process of entrepreneurship that was mentioned today? There are 3 circles, 3 main parts of this process. Do you remember, or anyone else remembers? What is common between Virginia's story and Victor's story?
So in Victor's story, somebody told him about a need which he wanted to fill. and he put all his eggs in one basket, maybe I would say, and he decided to go big and get it done. Then he realized along the line he needed more labor, a little more capital, and even more know-how to get it done. So I think he has also unlearned a few behaviors and relearned some things to do to be a better person now. So he's a better entrepreneur today than he was when he started, and he won't make the same mistakes again.
Yeah, exactly. So they both had an assumption in Virginia's part that people will demand fish. In Victor's part, people will demand tomato, especially those who work in small hotels. So they could have spent small amount of time and money to test this idea, to check whether it's actually true or not, right? Because you have an assumption, then you test it. And then afterwards, either you scale up because you have a positive feedback, or you pivot to something else and you go back again and develop more assumptions. So that's the circle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does anyone else wants to share this process from their own experience, or they want to make a comment about it, or explain it back to me in a simpler way? You know, I really like stories. So if you have a story from your country that can capture this, I'll appreciate if you can share.
Okay, I would like to use my own experience at my farm.
Good.
So
yeah, please.
I do catfish farming, and then I also do mushroom farming. Along the line, when we first started, we used to take supply from other farmers for the mushroom side, compost bags, which we did cropping. So in the value chain, we wanted to be croppers. But we realized very quickly that the bag supply was erratic from farmers. So instead of working with just one farmer now, we decided to expand our supplier base and work with about 4 or 5 different farms. That was still a bit erratic. So we decided to backward integrate and try and make our own bags as well, in addition to taking from others. We tried a few samples, they didn't go so well. We realized we didn't have a lot of technical ability to get that done. So then now what we decided to do is partner with another farm and make sure that every time we want bags, we plan ahead and let them know when in the like next 3-4 months, during which weeks we need bags supplied. And that has a few kinks here and there, but we've realized that makes our cropping house almost always have bags to crop, and it's better than before. Yeah.
Okay, so what was the assumption in this story?
So the assumption was that bags were readily available whenever we wanted to crop and then serve our customers. But then we quickly realized we had to get involved ourselves in the planning with our outgrowers.
You see, that's very important. So what was the testing part that you did?
Involving ourselves in bag making, which we didn't really have know-how about. We did a few bags, we failed. And then now we decided to, instead of doing it ourselves alone, get help by getting a good house grower to come in and then get the bags done for us. It means we pay a little more, but then we always have a good supply of bags.
So that was the learning and the pivoted. You pivoted from making your own and then to working with someone else.
Yes.
But well, was it efficient? This experiment. This is a really good experiment. How efficient was it? Did you spend too much time and money and energy on it, or was it an efficient way of doing it?
I would say it wasn't efficient.
It wasn't. So what would you do differently?
Next time we'll do something small. When we decided to make the bag, we did a lot at a time, and we really had a lot of contamination. Next time we'll go smaller, and then I'm actually hoping in future to make my own bags as well. it's not something I've completely forgotten about. But the next time I'll do it, I'll make sure I have everything right. And I have a proper expert on board to check every step of the way what is happening.
Yeah, but that's a really great experience, a learning curve. And that's exactly the process of experimentation. Maybe yours wasn't structured experimentation, just experimentation. But the learning also was valuable to you. Does anyone have feedback on this? Come on, colleagues. This is the Ubuntu spirit. You have to give feedback. Please feel free to give feedback, or if you want to share, if this story helps you remember something about your own business and you want to share, please feel free. I think we'll also keep sharing on the AI platform. We keep the conversation going. Please feel free to use the chat or to use the exercises comments to explain a story that you remember. Tell us from your own country if there's a story that can capture this meaning. If you have your own definition, that would really be helpful for us, and really appreciate. There are no really right or wrong answers, so please feel free to just share whatever you feel like in whatever medium you prefer. I think I should hand back, I don't know, to Benjamin or to David.
Yes, I just want to say thank you for your participation quickly. And also, well, we had a very active participation from just a handful of people, and just would also like to encourage the others to, in the next sessions, to also share your thoughts, share the problems that you face, and so on. Whatever comes up in the session, most value or biggest value you will get when sharing your thoughts and experiences. So yeah, thank you very much. Have a great weekend. And the last word, I think, belongs to David.
Great. Thank you very much, Benjamin, for a great session. I hope you have seen or see the value of this program. Again, it's self-paced. Keep going to the AI platform, keep responding to the questions and the assignments on the AI platform. And also, please go through the slides. It's very important. Like you've seen, if you've not gone through the slides, it will be difficult for you to understand what this session looks like. Next week will be, I think, led by Frederick for the next live session, and eventually, of course, Professor Njuguna as well. So a great team of trainers on this program, yeah, we're very excited. So thank you very much. Do enjoy your weekends, and we shall see you next week. Actually, before we do that, I'd like to ask, are you currently having any challenges with the AI platform? Is there anything you think we should explain better, or it is going fine for you? That's something that we'd like to know. You can type that in the WhatsApp group. Let us know if you have any challenges, so we can help you with that. Great. So thank you very much, and do enjoy your weekends, and we shall see you next week.
Great session. Please feel free to leave. We have a team debriefing. David, please stop the recording on the live session. I think Benjamin has left. I'll get him back.
Okay.